for having me.
Strategic product placement.
Man, these packs, man, I'm telling you, this is what the waffle trainer was to Nike.
Yeah. So how's it going, man? Tell me some good news about Noya Jibon.
Yeah, man. I first and foremost want to say thank you for having me, Alton. You've always been an amazing mentor for Noya Jibon, as our advisor based here in Newport Beach. You've delivered us excellent advice that has brought us tremendous success, once implemented.
Thank you. I'm humbled.
Thank you.
I've seen your guys' success as well, and I know that you guys had a big launch coming up, and I know like the whole COVID thing is like throwing that for a loop, but you guys are having success, and how are you going to continue that success throughout this this whole COVID scare?
Absolutely. We did have our Empowered campaign launch on Kickstarter and Indiegogo starting June 1st. We also had our pop-up shop exhibits in LA, Berkeley, Atlanta, New York City. I was invited to speak along with our Director of Research and Development, Dr. Dina Hitsky, at Mercer University mid-May, but all that's been canceled, right? Yeah. So right now it's tumultuous time.
Yeah, that's a big opportunity to lose when you get the chance to speak at a university. I've done that a few times, and like I've always loved it. It's always had a big, huge impact for me. So hoping that continues when school resumes and the whole scares die down.
Absolutely. But yeah, regardless, we're just taking this time to really focus on building internal infrastructure. Our team spanning from the west to the east, not just within the U.S., but even back in Asia.
You've definitely assembled like a full team since we first started. It started off with you and a couple guys, and now you have like a global team. So
absolutely. How
does that feel? Like how old are you again? What, 22, 23? 21 years old, and you have a global team. Like that's impressive.
Thank you.
You talk a little bit more about how you built your team?
Absolutely. It did. You remember when it was just me and a few other people. Kelvin, Vippy John. You and Julian have all been, here since the start. But I think the biggest underlying success, that resulted in building the team is the vision, right? Having a crystal clear vision in moments of adversity, such as this one, right? But even before this, when I first started Noya Jibon, I didn't know the magnitude of the impact or how many people it would impact, let alone even where I would go next with it, right? But as I progressed through the journey of entrepreneurship and just continued, through the punches and the hits, there were good times and there were really tough times, but I realized the importance of teams. So it was, through a variety of different facets, right? I think, me at the time, me attending Santa Monica College really helped me just connect with different professors, different fashion students. I was definitely able to leverage some talent there. Since then, we are now partnered with quite a few prestigious universities, right? So we have a really strong internship program in place. We have partnerships with University of Michigan, University of Pennsylvania, and also a lot of the local schools as well. University of California, Irvine. We didn't get into UCLA just yet, but we got into a few of the UCs, Cal State LA, and also a few of the private schools too. We just got accepted into Harvard, I think a few days ago we got into UC Berkeley as well. So we have our internship program, and and then we also have built the team through just a combination of both working professionals as yourself and college students and simple believers, in the vision. And
so that's impressive. 21-year-old entrepreneur. You have, you're a global team, and you also have an internship program that's been accepted at all these major universities. Like, could you briefly tell people how you were able to do that?
Yeah. I would say I was able to do that through just, there's a saying, I think, I heard it from a Stanford lecture, right? But it's like building the bridge as you go, right? So I've constantly been able to just have this, this process, which I call the implementation flow, right? So there's always been this influx of new ideas, which, I can organize and communicate. That's step one. Step two is then the research phase, where I research whether these ideas are sound, and then I analyze, this research, and then if it's sound, then I go ahead and move on to step 3, and that's execution. So I think through the implementation flow and constantly just refining the process, I've been able to just see what works, what doesn't, and just keep moving forward.
That's dope. Because I know we're at VersaFit, we had an internship program. You started as an intern.
Yeah,
you were
I did.
promoted to full time, and then you became a partner in the company. And I'm just thinking, back to my days, when we were first bringing in interns. We have a couple other interns that also they didn't turn out to be entrepreneurs, but the experience that they gained from working for me, it's invaluable. And they have these high paying tech jobs at these big companies, and you're giving that same opportunity to these other people that they're getting real world experience through your internship that they can either take and apply at their own company. They can either come into working for you, or they can actually use that experience to work for another major company. But they're getting this hands-on experience where you're actually teaching them.
Absolutely.
So, because we're doing this whole movement campaign with Noya Jibon, and it's ready to launch, but it kind of got derailed and the COVID thing is happening. How are you adjusting to the fact that you have to push everything out a couple more months?
Yeah. I mean, at first I was a bit disappointed, but I realized, this is definitely the universe, God, trying to tell me something. And I realized, I'm going to take these extra few months to build a team to be stronger than ever, right? Yeah. So I have an amazing executive assistant on board, Rizwan, based in Canada. He goes to U of A. You recently met him. Some just amazing West Coast team, primarily throughout LA. We have some members in Tucson, Arizona, some members in across New York City and New Jersey, and it's been an amazing team that we have in place, right? But obviously we're still learning how to work together. It can get overwhelming, right? When you have, I think we're at 27 people on the team now. Nice. And when you have 27 people moving parts and pieces, it can get overwhelming. But you know what? I'm learning to trust the process and just shift the strategy towards focusing more on brand building and just fully building out our community, right, over these next few months before we launch our Empowered campaign.
Yeah, that's excellent, man. How many 21-year-olds do you know that are managing 27 people? That's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere where I wouldn't be anywhere where I am today without my team, right? And I think I truly gained the confidence towards building this team through my experience with VersaFit. First as an intern, then as a full-time employee, and then as a partner, right? I learned through the ups and the downs that it takes a lot of grit, and nothing's promised, right? I mean, obviously, we may not have achieved the ultimate results we would have wanted from VersaFit, but I think VersaFit deserves a lot of credit for the success, that I've built with Noya Jibon.
I agree, and it's built up a lot of success for a lot of other people. I see a lot of the guys and girls that used to work for us, and I'm seeing the things that they're doing now, and I'm like, man, I remember when they were working for us 5 years ago, and they were green, and they're just it's a big world for them, and now they're killing it. A lot of them have their own companies, and a lot of them are signed to major fitness brands, and it's man, that I feel good. I didn't do all the work for them, but I helped along that journey somehow.
Yeah, and that's that impact, right? And I was talking to my therapist about this the other day, and she was like, and we ran into this question, right? It's is what I'm doing aligned with my values, and she asked me, a couple of what my values were, and I kind of thought about an umbrella, right? And it's really, the top of the umbrella that kind of just protects me is, my values themselves, right? And then the very bottom is the handle, right? My ethics, right? So I think everything that I do, I want to continue to, have my value system of, just making an impact, treating others with compassion, fostering opportunity and growth, and just bringing upon a Noya Jibon a new life, right? But doing so from an ethical standpoint, always keeping a grip, right? Because with great power comes great responsibility. And when you're young and you're given such a team and such influence and the opportunity to work with some amazing people, it can get overwhelming, and you can, that power, it can derail you from the ultimate vision. So I'm just slowly learning to always go back to that umbrella, the values and the ethics, tying together all of the values.
And just for the people that don't know, what does Noya Jibon mean?
Yeah. So Noya Jibon actually means new life in our native language of Bengali, and that's exactly what our goal is, to grant every individual an opportunity towards a new life, a better version of themselves, starting with the very backbone of the trillion-dollar fashion economy, which is currently floundering due to COVID. But it starts with the very factory employees who are sewing together the garments, processing the raw material, the people in charge of the logistics, risking their lives to transport garments from a developing nation to a developed nation. The models representing wearing that clothing, the designers that are diligently working behind the scenes designing that clothing, all the way down to the end consumer, and that's our definition of Noya Jibon, and that's exactly what our Empowered campaign is about. And although we won't be launching our Empowered campaign on June 1st, and we will be pushing it back to sometime later this year, we truly appreciate just all of your support, and really appreciate you, having me here today, Alton.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. This is your content. We're at my place.
Yeah. Thanks for hosting.
Yeah, it's like that's. I don't want to get too political towards the end, but like that's like the big reason why a lot of places are dealing with this problem is, compared to other countries, is that our capitalism is so screwed, right? It's taking advantage of the little people. And I know a big part of what you want to do is like provide like actual benefits for these for these workers, that like healthcare and all these access to resources that they don't get normally. And like it's a big thing for me. And I think now more than ever you can see why universal healthcare, I won't say universal Medicare because I worked in Medicare, it's terrible.
Right.
But universal healthcare would be able to prevent most of these problems.
Absolutely.
And we'd be able to handle the problem a lot quicker. So definitely just wanted to tie that in there without getting too political for the audience out there.
For the audience, right.
Because I'm definitely pro-capitalism, just not American capitalism.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, there's boundaries, right? I mean, we're a for-profit company, right? However, we're ingrained in a lot of progressive values and ideals, right? I think like a lot of modern tech companies, if you think about it. Tech companies hire the best of the best, pay them great salaries, offer great benefits. They take care of them. I mean, you've worked for quite a few successful tech companies and throughout your journey as an entrepreneur. But I think what it really is just seeing every single human, right, for their full potentiality. I think that's what we fail to do through, a lot of manual labor workers, because we think, they're just another input in, the machine. However, it's them that are, sometimes it's the people at the very bottom that might have the greatest, most disruptive, innovative ideas. And if you don't develop the proper relationship with them, they may just be an input. But if you're able to nurture and foster their growth and help them maximize and reach their full potentiality, they may end up becoming an executive within the company and presenting some of the best ideas.
Yeah, gotta look within and like look at the people that are closest to the problem, that they're gonna have the best solutions because they deal with those problems every day.
Every day, exactly. And you can never be too big. I mean, I tell, I even have conversations with, like my executive assistant. I'm like, look, like, even as an executive, it's like, even as a CEO of this company, like there's times where I have to be the one taking the pictures, or I have to be the one, cleaning up after an event that, we threw, or, doing like whatever, like, other people would see like as, as little work, or, as busy work. But it's like, you can't take anything for granted, and you can never be too big to be the, the best version of yourself. And, really, I guess I want to conclude with on this note, but, when I was younger, a few years back, a very wise man told me, he called me nephew at the time, and he said, "Nephew, submission is the key to the universe." When he first told me that, I didn't realize, what he meant. I'm like, wait, what is he saying? Like, submission? Like, what he's talking about? Like, wrestling? Key to the universe? It was just so profound. But now that I come back to think about it, it's truly when you submit to the greater cause, right? Your vision.
You put something else before yourself. Right?
Put something else before
the goals before you.
And that's when, in exchange, you get granted the key to the universe. And I think in the case of Noya Jibon, it's our team. Because I've submitted and committed to the vision, we've fostered this global team that's all striving towards shifting fashion forward.
Nope, it's excellent, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more from you guys. I know you guys are gonna get weather out the storm. I mean, you're
Absolutely.
a solid entrepreneur, so am I. So we're gonna find a way to get through this, and hopefully it's not too much past June. Hopefully we're seeing your launch in like July or August.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now it's indefinite, right? But as soon as things ease a little bit, I mean, we're making some progress with potential vaccinations, being developed as we speak. But yeah, I mean, let's see where things are in June, and we can kind of pivot from there. But in the meantime, we are going to go full-fledged on our e-commerce store. So noyajibon.com, we're going to be releasing brand new collections, brand new designs on a weekly basis. And we have our Empowered collection too, which will be a part of the Empowered campaign. That's exclusive. But for those watching, if they wanted to support Noya Jibon in the immediate run, they definitely, for the first time, are able to purchase Noya Jibon's brand new weekly collections directly on noyajibon.com.
That sounds awesome. I'll also remind me to put those links in the description.
Absolutely.
So we'll throw all that in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Alton. It was a pleasure. And I want to, in particular, I want to give a shout out to a new mentor, a new partner that I'm starting to work with, Zane John. Zane has actually built numerous multi-million-dollar companies, and I met him through my business partner for another venture, Surge. And I just wanted to put it out there that I'm in the short amount of time that I started working with Zane, I've learned a tremendous deal, and I'm extremely grateful to be under his mentorship. And I'm really looking forward, for us to build, his enterprise up together as well.
Let's do it. Make moves.
Let's do it.
Deals.
Awesome.
All right, always a pleasure.
All right, thank you, Alton. Thanks for having me. All right.
Peace.